Okay, now we're going to look at the arm and neck choke from the mount initially, but this can be tough to get on certain opponents. So we're going to see where we can go with this to keep the choke, bail out to another position, and then either finish the choke or follow up to an arm lock. So I have Chris under the mount, and what happens is I'm keeping my hips down, I trap his head, and I hook his elbow. And I'm walking this arm up. I like to tire people's arm out like this, and he might bring it back in, and I'll keep walking it up. Eventually I get it up to here where I can grab it with my other hand. And that means I can come back here with my left hand and force his arm across and slip my head behind the arm. Now once my hand is on my bicep, my other hand's on my head, I'm squeezing and driving, and it's very tight, but it's riding up on his jaw. And that's a problem often with the mount because your hips are so far up his body and you're way over past him like this trying to squeeze, and all the pressure is going on his skull and on his jaw. So what you can do from here is you can keep the arms in position and jump out to the side. And then I have my knee against his ribs here and my other leg posted. Now from here I can drive across and I can put a different kind of pressure on him, which will really focus it going across and down on his neck. It's not going to ride up on his jaw as we found from the mount. Notice my knee is down, my leg is posted, so I can really drive this way. But what happens sometimes from here is that he'll turn. He turns far enough that way that I have to give up on this choke. I'm going to let his head out and hook his arm. My hand is posted so that my knee can come up to his ribs, and then I step up and I follow up to the cross arm lock. So you can just let his head out when you're up to that side. And then from there, go right to the cross arm lock. So looking at that again, you start from the mount, which is a great position to start to walk under this arm. He's in here, he's trying to keep his arms in. And so what I do is I hook his elbow like this, and I start to walk it out. Okay? And once I've got it far enough, I'll fill in behind with my knee, so he can't get it back down. Walk it up further, I'll grab the arm. Now from here, once I pass this arm across, like so, as I'm pushing it across, my head comes to the outside, and now it can't go back. His arm cannot go back to the right side and down. And I start to work the choke in. Now sometimes you get the right, or often if you work this in really tight, you just finish him from here. However, sometimes you find you're struggling against this, you've taken away all the space and he still is not tapping or napping. So I jump out to the side, and then I drive across. You have to have this pressure right here on the shoulder, right there. All right, and he taps. But if he turns far enough to the side and I can't, see I've lost my alignment now. The crook of my elbow is protecting the left side of his neck. So I let his head out and I hook the arm. Pop up to the knee, step past his head with the other leg, and then squeeze as you sit back. And now work that arm free. Always squeezing, always pressing his head down. And then you've got the cross arm lock, you lift your hips. You can keep the figure 4 formation with the hand on the bicep and the shoulder, or you can just go both hands to the wrist and extend your hips. So there's a nice finishing combination from the mount and off to the side. Not exactly side control, more of a kneeling and posting, driving side position. It is a side control, but it's really catered to that finish, the arm and neck choke, and then from there to the cross arm lock.